So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Ginger and Fred, 1986. Can you hear me now? Sorry, I was having a little problem with the audio there. Hopefully, you can hear me now. I'm just going to speak up to the mic like this. Now you can hear me, can't you? Anyways, I was having problems with the audio. I couldn't get any audio. So hooked up my mic, and I'm sure you can hear me much better now. This movie surprised me. It was better than I expected. It was kind of romantic the way Marcello and Fellini's wife kind of hooked up, uh, did their gig together after 30 years of separation. The ending was pretty good too, but it was a long movie, 2 hours and 7 minutes, and I didn't really care for most of the movie. I mean, there's a transvestite, a bunch of midgets, there's some edible underwear, but none of that was particularly interesting to me. I thought the sort of give and take kind of romance between Marcello and Fellini's wife was pretty romantic. I wish something like that would happen to me with like a former coworker or maybe my best friend or something. The dance routines are pretty lame. Nothing at all like Fred Astaire. Marcello's even falls flat on his arse, and the TV audience kind of is clapping the whole time. He even gives them the kind of FU salute while the lights are out, and then all of a sudden the lights come on. He's still got the FU salute going on, and they're clapping for him. So that part was kind of hard to believe, especially when he's acting all tired and he's talking the whole time. He's supposed to be looking like Fred Astaire. It's pretty ridiculous. His hairdo reminds me of Ingmar Bergman from that time period, that big bald spot, and he's smoking cigarettes and drinking a lot in this one. Fellini's wife didn't age well. She looked much better when she played a prostitute in Calibri Lights, I think it was called. And then she was in another movie where she's just running around in this skimpy T-shirt and screaming at the top of her lungs. That was another good one. And of course, La Strada is a great movie that Fellini did. Gave him some much deserved recognition at the time, and sort of catapulted his career, I guess. Yeah. So she's not looking too good. She's wearing a wig and she's all wrinkly, and her skin looks really nasty. And she dresses like an old lady in this one. Yeah. And plus she's short. They're supposed to be impersonators of Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, but she's too short, and Marcello is kind of too old and out of shape in this movie. the dance routines didn't look very authentic. Certainly nowhere near the skill of Fred Astaire. And but I like the romance story at the end. That was pretty cool. The ending was kind of ambiguous, but romantic at the same time. So I like the ending. The buildup was just, people talking and trying to be funny, not really funny. Um, so Fellini's wife arrives at the hotel. She's looking for Marcello, and just so happens he's next door snoring. So she bangs on the door. He answers the door, and then he doesn't even recognize her at first. But then they start hanging out together, and Marcello comes up with this fantastic story that tap dancing was a way for slaves to communicate with each other. I don't know if that's true, but kind of an interesting story. And then there's this transvestite who's not at all interesting. He wants to go to jail so that he can court men in jail because they're lonely, and he feels sorry for them. Doesn't really make sense. There's another annoying part where Marcello's going through a metal detector. He's got a horseshoe in his coat pocket, and he talks about going up against the bourgeoisie and becoming and taking sides with the criminals and all this other nonsense. It's not like a bunch of communist crap to me, but I didn't know Fellini was into that kind of stuff. Doesn't surprise me. But it is a 1986 movie. It was kind of out of place. And Fellini's wife just keeps telling him, "You better not embarrass me in front of all these people," because he promises to be a rebel and tell everybody that they're a bunch of brain dead sheep, which would have been a more entertaining movie, actually. Honestly, but the ending still was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It kind of surprised me when the power went out, and surprised me even more that the audience kept cheering them on even after Marcello fell flat on his arse. And anyways, it was better than I expected. I thought I was going to hate this movie. Especially when I saw the length, 2 hours, 7 minutes, and the date, 1986. I figured Fellini had been washed up at this point, but he managed to make a reasonably halfway decent film. I'm sure Adrian's going to tell me it gets like a 7.3 on IMDb, but I'm giving a 6 out of 10. 3 out of 5, 6 out of 10. That's how the math works. And yeah, so got through the Fellini stuff. Now it's on to the Godard stuff, which I'm definitely not looking forward to. But I finished this one sooner than I expected, a day early, so thought I'd get this one in. And YouTube got rid of the filter, so I'm doing these 360 videos later.